What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today's game is going to be between Liquid, TaeJa, and Grubby. This is a Terran versus Protoss matchup. We are here on the map Cloud Kingdom. Now let's go ahead and start this game off with some player information. Beginning down over here in the lower left-hand spawn position, we have got our yellow Terran player. This is Liquid TaeJa. I'm going to try all sorts of fancy things for the beginning of these videos now. TaeJa was a semi-finalist at the MLG Pro Circuit 2012 for the Summer Championship. This was on August 26th of this year. And then on September 23rd, he took first place at the 2012 DreamHack Open Valencia. His opponent over here in the upper right-hand spawn position is our green Protoss player, Grubby. Let's do it again. Grubby took first place at the Star Wars 7 Western Qualifier. This was on May 25th. And then on August 19th, he took third place at the Samsung European Encounter. Oh, that was fancy and exciting. Now that we've got that player information out of the way, let's hop into the game. TaeJa does appear to be going for a frontal wall off as he started off with that supply depot and following it up here with a barracks. So we are likely to see a second supply depot right here to finish that wall off. We'll have to keep an eye on his refinery timing. Is he gonna, yeah, looks like he will be building a refinery. He's got this next SCV rally to this, and then that'll be building a refinery right away. So won't be seeing a crazy early expansion here from TaeJa as he's opening up with the fairly standard 10 depot, 12 racks, and 13/14 refinery. Back over here for Grubby, he does have his gateway about a little bit over halfway finished, very near finished, but still no assimilator here, which is very interesting. Normally you've seen assimilator by now, so I do wonder if Grubby is planning a quick expansion here early on in the game. Now moving out with his probe scout, we also have an SCV scout moving out over here for TaeJa. TaeJa just about to finish that barracks and then moves on over to finish this supply depot, which was built early by this scouting SCV to finish that wall off a bit quicker. Get that first Marine coming out, and still no gas over here for Grubby as he's accumulating those minerals. So we'll be seeing an expansion very shortly. Probe now moving out to do that. Probe scout spots the front of TaeJa's base, and TaeJa following it up here with a tech lab on that barracks. Moves out with the Marine, gets a couple shots off on the probe. The probe being quicker, he's going to be able to get away, but look at this. Very quick expansion for Grubby. And again, we've got a tech lab on this racks. This means TaeJa will be coming out with either a Reaper or Marauder. Marauder seems more likely. Maybe some concussive shell action, because look at how late this assimilator is. My gosh, Grubby might be hurting here early on. I think some early pressure from TaeJa could be very effective because Grubby is so far away from his cybernetics core. I mean, you know, he's so far away from being able to get that warp gate research out. You can see that cybernetics core now just started building. He's going to start getting his gas, and then once this finishes, he'll get that warp gate research. But is it going to be in time? We've got a Marauder in production, one already out with a second coming through, and that concussive shell now almost finished. And here comes the aggression from TaeJa. Zealot gets a shot on the Marine, but that's about it. Now he's dead. Oh, concussive shell is gonna finish in time. Just needs one shot with that concussive shell. As soon as it finishes, it's done. Is he gonna get it? He gets it, gets the concussive shell down. Grubby, realizing his Zealot is a goner, turns around to try to do some damage, but it doesn't matter. TaeJa able to get the kill, and now moving out for some more damage. Now we've got a Stalker coming through. And he does already have one Zealot out, but he's going to be taking some damage down over here. And TaeJa may even try to push into the main and do even more harass. Now I wonder, does he have any SCVs over here chilling out anymore? No, I don't see any SCVs right now. He's just going to start hitting this Nexus. And is he going to move into the main? Yeah, he needs to be careful. Going to take some shots from that Stalker up on the high ground. I think the best thing would just be to do some damage and see what he can do over here. Pulling down a bunch of SCVs. Follows it up with an expansion as well, but this is going to be interesting. All right, here we go. Now trying to construct a bunker, decides to cancel that as we got a ton of probes moving down for Grubby. Grubby realizing he would be in trouble otherwise. Moves down with so many workers, and that's gonna do it. That is exactly what Grubby needed to do. Now obviously this is hurting him a bit because this is a lot of time that he is not mining at all. TaeJa realizing that this is pretty much no longer going to be effective. Pulls back with the rest of his SCVs, but Grubby was off the resource line with quite a few more workers. You can see there were a handful of workers over here, but not nearly as many as Grubby was not mining with. But at the same time, these workers are also taking quite a while to get back over here. Now let's take a look at the current income. Grubby does have an advantage, stronger in the minerals and in the Vespene at the moment. That should switch, though, in just a couple of minutes. As TaeJa now works to saturate this natural expansion, I think his income will shoot right through the roof. Has actually temporarily stopped mining gas there from the refinery, and now just moving mineral heavy. Will be coming out with a few more barracks as he prepares to mass up his bio army of Marines and Marauders. Also comes out here with a bunkers, a little bit of early game defense, although I don't think Grubby can really be that aggressive at this point in the game. I mean, he has now just started that warp gate research, is also coming out with a robotics facility as well. And yeah, so we should be seeing both players kind of shift focus here into macro mode. They're really going to be focusing their time and energy on getting a strong economy, getting some upgrades as well. Again, you can see that warp gate research. We did just see stim pack finish over here for TaeJa, so we've now got stim pack and concussive shells. And then besides that, what do we have here? We've got an engineering bay and a factory, and then another command center right here for TaeJa. And with this, changing that into an orbital command, using that to saturate his main and natural. Get a strong economy, and yeah, we'll just be seeing pretty much an econ focus for the next few minutes at least. A transition over here for Grubby is going to be into some Colossus, as he does have a robotics bay coming out, also coming through with an observer. This will be his first one. Yeah, doesn't have one in play yet, now just sitting with some Zealots, Stalkers, and Sentries. SCV Scout moves forward, doesn't really get too much information other than spotting a few of the units that Grubby is sitting in front of his natural expansion with. Now that the orbital is finished, we're going to be seeing that energy used for mules, and again, working to saturate that main and the natural with that extra command center production. A missile turret gets placed down over here. Does he have any other missile turrets chilling out anywhere else? No, just at the natural. I guess that'll suffice, really. This is going to be used to spot the possibility of DT pushing in, but also hopefully catch that observer, although Grubby going kind of around instead of moving straight towards that natural expansion. Will be going around towards this side. Where is that rallied up for? It's no longer rallied up. I think it was rallied to just walk right in, but Grubby decided to take control of that, make sure he doesn't walk into any missile turrets or anything funny like that. And also now moving out here with his forces. Look at this. We will be seeing TaeJa scout this out. He's got a Marine at this Zelnaga tower, so he does know this is coming. A probe moving in this direction. And there's the observer. There's a scan. Gets the observer. Beautiful, beautiful play there by TaeJa. Great eyes in being able to spot that, and great response with the stim and scan. Clearly that hurts his Marines until those medevacs come into play, but nevertheless, stopping that observer, pretty key. Grubby moves forward with a few of his units, and then deciding, yeah, maybe not. Pulls back briefly. Factory scout now moving out for TaeJa. Looks like he's heading due north, and then we'll be cutting it to the right. We do have the thermal lance upgrade coming out for those Colossus. That is the extra range for them. He does have a Colossus in production 1 already in play. That's chilling out over here. 2 units move forward, and they end up getting force field walled. TaeJa able to save 3 of those Marines. And then stimmed up Marines, doing some scouting over here. Got a Zealot making chase. I believe there's one pylon over here. I do wonder if he scouted that with his Marine. Yes, he did. So he knows about that pylon, so he will likely deal with that at some point. It doesn't look like the Marine made it much further. That was taken out, but the factory scout still chugging along, and that will be scouting out this third in a few moments. Should just see a Twilight Council that has finished here for Grubby. We'll see if he decides to go charge, upgrade, blink, and actually using that Twilight to come out with a Templar Archives. Also coming out with some upgrades to level 1 weapons being researched right now for Grubby. Factory Scout spots the expansion, and then it's pretty much gone. There's enough anti-air here to cause that to burn, and then eventually result in the death of the factory. At the same time, after scouting out the third of Grubby, TaeJa decides to move into a third of his own, and then takes care of this sneaky little pylon over here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to also continue to scout out, see if there's any additional pylons chilling out anywhere. He could also try a little bit of a push. Maybe some drop harass as well. He is kind of making his way towards that direction. That is certainly the case. Also a few Vikings coming into play. He's got 2 already. There's 2 Colossus now, though. Is it the third yet? No, just the 2. Temporarily stopped production on that. Got a few more gateways also coming out. And we may be seeing an engagement in just a moment. This is pretty interesting. TaeJa, very forward aggressive stance. Just going to be dropping. Here we go. Moves now to drop into the natural. He says cannon. A couple zealots. No, thank you. Decides to pull back. Let's get this force moving in this direction. That has been scouted out by Grubby. Drops the Guardian Shield. Also places down a force field. And then Grubby, and then TaeJa says, you know, forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it, he says. He doesn't need to deal with that right now. Observer Scout placed over here. Interesting position. I don't know. I mean, it let him scout this expansion, but beyond that, he should probably move it. A few Marines moving up. There's the feedback on the medevac, taking some massive damage. Just barely able to sneak away, though, with 8 life left. Shields are recharging. That's the energy I'm talking about. He's going to head back that, and he's going to head back with that. Get that repaired before it moves back into combat. Taking out those rocks. Pretty important here for our Terran player TaeJa. Engaging in those choke points can be really rough against a Protoss opponent. Dealing with Colossus and the splash damage from High Templar Storms and Archons and all that stuff means you kind of want to fight in a wide open area. Choke points, really not the greatest. Then, of course, you also have to deal with force fields, which can be very frustrating and definitely hurt your army quite a bit. All right, let's see. We got some upgrades now here. TaeJa is 1-2. He is also getting a Mobius reactor upgrade. And does have some Ghost in production right now. A few more Vikings coming through. And another command center being built right over here by the 3rd. Back over here, Grubby massing up massive amounts of Zealots. My gosh, it's going to be interesting to see that come into play. Of course, he does have that charge upgrade for them. And then beyond that, some High Templar action. Does have Storm researched. Haven't seen many more drop attempts here from TaeJa. Would be nice to see that. Although I don't blame him for not wanting to split up his forces. Upgrades now at 1-1, working up to 2-2 over here for Grubby.
Upgrade complete.
Got a Marine Scout over there. TaeJa is preparing to move into his 4th base right over here. And I think Grubby, right about now, should be preparing to do the same. Ooh, wow, Gravity Boosters coming through. That's pretty cool. Coming out the increased speed for his observer. You don't see that a lot. Definitely do not see that a lot. Here comes some drop harass. But no, not from TaeJa. This is coming from Grubby. TaeJa still hasn't really continued up any drop harass. Grubby now moving out with the Warp Prism. 2 High Templar, presumably filled with energy, and a couple of Zealots. Plus, he sets down this Warp Prism, allows him to warp in some more units. Big force moving across the map for TaeJa. Scans ahead, moves forward with his Ghost. Almost gets force field trapped. That was close. And the Warp Prism now ready to engage. Here it goes. Quick response, though, by TaeJa as he pulls back with his units. We're going to have one High Templar sit down there, and the other High Templar and the Zealot now moving up into this position. And be careful, though. Turrets, missile turrets. You're walking by it. Big Storm goes down, does a little bit of damage. Warp Prism makes it back, starts to warp in some units. Oh, this is looking scary here for TaeJa. He's going to be taking some damage. We get the Zealot and High Templar still over here. Couple more Zealots coming in. TaeJa has enough to deal with, though. He is all set. Warp Prism is a goner. And then TaeJa says, all right, my turn. Scans, takes out the Observer. Step 1 in a glorious victory plan. We got a Zealot over here. That's gonna hurt. Oh, never mind. Didn't realize this was a planetary. Zealot, nice to know you, but goodbye. Still pushing back right now. Is he still dealing with harass? No, he's not dealing with any more harass in any of these positions. I do wonder what prompted him to pull back there. There is no longer any more harass coming down from Grubby. And again, we're not seeing much more either from TaeJa. TaeJa just continues to try to get center of the map control. Some SCVs placing missile turrets down at this expansion, huh? He's gonna stim up a few of his forces and push forward. We do have Grubby's army preparing to move from the backside. Ghost, move back in defense. Preparing to place down some EMPs if necessary. Observer Scout of Grubby sees everything over here. This expansion is a goner. Ghost moving over here. Decide to do nothing. Grubby's army gets scanned. TaeJa knows what's up. Do another check for any more potential harass. Yeah, right over here. High Templar warped in. As soon as it can storm, it's going to. It's going to take a few moments though. 75 energy. He is at 70. Not a lot of SCVs here though. The expansion with the most SCVs has got a bit of defense right there too, so he might hold off on that. I don't even know. Yeah, right now TaeJa doesn't know about that right over there. He does not know about that pylon. Forward scan. Also saw a snipe there.
Upgrade complete.
There's the stalker. He's gonna do some harass. That's so annoying to deal with. TaeJa should be able to just take his forces over here though to deal with that. A little bit of a standoff taking place. As TaeJa threatens to push in. One ghost moves forward. Oh, that hurt. Now I'm surprised he's not cloaking these guys before he moves in. I mean, he does have the cannon there to deal with, so maybe that's why. Realizing, yeah, it's gonna get spotted anyway, so what's the point? But still, doesn't hurt to cloak it for whenever they are out of that detection vision. TaeJa just continues to dance back and forth between these two entrances, trying to find a good time and opportunity to push on in. Still dealing with harass over here. Finally, Stalker gets killed. This High Templar has stormed. He's got 3 kills and a few more Stalkers now coming up. TaeJa moves back with his entire army to deal with this one pylon. I guess there's 2 pylons. I'll grab that one now too.
We could use some help here. Weak generals are under attack.
And now taking the opportunity, after TaeJa pulls back with his entire force, to move out of this natural and 3rd position and get his army to the center of the map. And now might be the time. We'll see an engagement shortly. There's a scan, spots an observer, takes it out. Grubby does have this expansion up here, which I'm not sure that he knows about. TaeJa does not know about this expansion. That could hurt him in the long run if he does not find that. I'm a little bit worried that Grubby's economy will pull him through in this game. Grubby is sitting at 3-3, just starting his shield upgrades. Also has 14 gateways in production. What? Where is this taking place? Everywhere, I guess. Holy heck. 15 gateways in production. 14, that's small fries. He's got 15 gateways in production. Oh, TaeJa finally finds it. TaeJa finds it. Not good news. Grubby moving from the backside. He's got to worry about those ghosts and those Vikings. And is he just going to throw it away? Ooh, nice storm. Ton of damage. Moves forward to engage. Cloaked EMPs from cloaked EMPs from those cloaked ghosts. Doing a lot of damage there. Ooh, that hurt a ton. Cloaked EMPs. That's a new one. And then after forcing his army back, TaeJa just turns around and he says, yes, see you later, expansion. Gonna quickly take that out. Grubby, though, not going down without a fight. He's continuing to move forward. Prepare to engage with TaeJa's forces. Oh, a little bit concerned. Pulls back. It's not looking too good for Grubby, to be honest with you. This Bio Death Ball, very strong. Grubby needs to reinforce quickly, which is a good thing that he was just building about a bajillion gateways. There were 4 of them over here, which did get taken out, but he should still have at least 10 more than he had prior. That's going to mean for some hefty, quick reinforcements. He's back at supply cap here. Army size, they're pretty much about even in terms of their army supply. TaeJa's going to be reinforcing here, healing up his forces, continuing to reinforce. Also coming out with some nukes now. That would be exciting, huh? One Marauder moving on over here. He's going to harass a bit. Ghost move forward and taken out, although they're able to get a few shots off, get a couple of kills. There's 2 kills for that one, 6 for that. There's a snipe. Kills 1 High Templar. This Marauder is taken care of. A few Zealots warped in. No problemo. Marine takes out High Templar over here. And again, a continuous dance back and forth between these 2 players. Now we got TaeJa with an expansion up here, and this expansion is pretty key right now for Grubby. He needs to really, really defend that position. As TaeJa has got this heavily mining and this heavily mining. terms of the resources left. He obviously doesn't have a lot of SCVs in either position. Here comes the big engagement right now. Stemmed out Bio. Moves to engage Grubby's forces. Nice storms at Colossus on the high ground. Devastating the Bio on the low ground. We still have those Vikings, though, which are going to continue to pick off those Colossus Stalkers, trying to force them back. Oh, but where is the army of TaeJa? TaeJa needs to reinforce quickly as Grubby is continuing to push now, moving towards the natural expansion. Cloak Ghost. It'll be tough to deal with without any observers over here. It's not like Grubby can just scan or anything like that. Storms would be nice, but doesn't have that opportunity at the moment. There are the observers, finally able to deal with those. And look at that, one major engagement, and Grubby just turns the tide here. Now waltzing up into the main. This is looking pretty scary. However, with some nice unit positioning, he could do a bit of damage. We have a hard time dealing with those Colossus. Never mind, they're the Vikings. They take care of that. TaeJa's in trouble, my friends. I'm sure that goes without saying, though, as we've got Grubby just streaming units into the main base. And now TaeJa is going to be able to continue to reinforce, and it's potential that he could hold this. He does have the potential to hold this. Maybe not. Because we're just going to see continuous reinforcements, and now that more Colossus are coming out, this gets even scarier. And this expansion doesn't have a ton of mining as we get some Stalker harass. Stalker with 8 kills right there. Got a few Archons getting morphed in. And there are the reinforcement Colossus. TaeJa calls the GG, and that does it for this game here between TaeJa and Grubby. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this game here between TaeJa and Grubby. Big, decisive battle here in the center of the map, in which Grubby came out on top. Just some nice splash damage, spreading out those Colossus. Some nice storms as well, just tore through the bio of TaeJa, and then Grubby just waltzed right into the main for the win. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this commentary. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Keep watching and keep owning.